Welcome to another high school game time segment alongside prep expert Doug Ritchay. I'm Jude Wilbers. We start with our game of the week, Doug. West Appear and Luxembourg Casco. Big win for the Phantoms.
Big win for the Phantoms. Really, for a game of the week, you'd kind of like it to be a little bit closer, but 42-0. West Appear is still West Appear. Luxembourg Casco struggled a little bit, and Dom Conway went nuts. 311 yards, 5 touchdowns. I was maybe the closest guy to him most of the night. He was just unbelievable.
Yeah, and I listened to what Jack Batten had to say after the game to you. It seemed like he had a lot of praise for Dom Conway.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, he had touchdown runs of 77, 67, and 53. So 3 carries, 197 yards, just on 3 carries.
Well, like you said, let's hear from Coach Batten now.
Jack, got to talk about the obvious. Dom Conway over 300 yards tonight. Talk about his effort.
Yeah, just pretty special kid. He had some holes, but there were also times when he was breaking tackles. He's all effort all the time. What you see out here is what we see in practice every day. It's just, I like to say it surprises me, but it doesn't. The first 2 games, he probably could have done something similar, but he only got to play 2 quarters. So, pretty special kid.
I know during the week you were interested in this game because LC looked like a good team, but what can you say about your overall performance? Just dominating start to finish.
Yeah, I thought, we always said that if you want to beat a physical team, you got to out-physical them. And I thought we played a very physical brand of football tonight. In their defense a little bit, they have guys playing both ways, and they got tired in the second half. They have a good football team. We just had a little bit of extra juice tonight.
And just talk about your lines job today, too, because you said LC looked bigger during the week, but your kids blew up a lot of holes tonight both ways. Was that maybe the key to this game, is just the line play?
Yeah, I think so. I might regret saying this before I watch the film, but I think our pad level was a little lower than in previous weeks. Some of that may have been the players that we were going against. They have some good defensive guys. I don't know names, 52, and a couple of those ball players, they could bring it. So our kids kind of stepped up, met the challenge, got their pads down, ran their feet like they're supposed to, and not tough blocking for a guy like Dom.
So big win for West Appear, but maybe the biggest statement game came out of the Eastern Valley Conference. That's where Freedom went on the road, beat a good WLUK team, 43-6.
37-point. No one saw this coming. I was talking to Clint Crewell the week before at Winnicott, and he said, you know, I just got to get my kids to stop thinking about it being WLUK and just go out and play football. Well, it looks like they accomplished that because no one saw this coming, and Freedom, tough early season loss to Wrightstown. They look really good right now.
Yeah, we saw Isaac Goner in 182 yards, a handful of touchdowns for him on the ground as well. And then talking about guys that go to the air, Xavier, they lost record-setting quarterback Matt Ferris last season. Zach Simon steps in, the junior, hardly misses a beat, 920 passing yards, 12 touchdowns through 3 weeks, Doug.
Yeah, maybe Ferris should have been on the bench last year. Zach Simon's this good. I think what this tells you is, first of all, Xavier knows how to develop quarterbacks. They got good kids waiting to start. Dave Hinkins has done a great job. They put in a new offense a few years ago. That's when Ferris became the starter, and look what's going on. They're scoring points and they're throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, they've got a game coming up against Seymour, who was a big winner over Shawano this past week. And speaking of teams that like to throw the football, in the FRCC, you got Ashwaubenon, 3-0. They got James Morgan, the Bowling Green recruit. He's looked outstanding once again this year. No surprise, Doug.
Yeah, watch him throw the ball like right here. Every time he throws the ball, it's perfect. It seems like it. Obviously, he throws incompletions, but this kid is so talented. And they don't have a. What happens with Morgan is he makes your running game better because you're so worried about him. But,
yeah, it looks like the Jugs gun every time it comes out of his hand.
Yeah, in week 1 game against Preble, Mark Jonas had to tell him to stop throwing the ball so hard. But this kid's a real deal.
It'll be interesting as the season goes along to see them eventually play Bayport in what might shake up to be the FRCC title game.
Yep.
Notre Dame, of course, will have something to say about that, too.
Absolutely.
They're still undefeated in conference as well. Well, speaking of undefeated, over in the OP Small, a surprise team, Mishicot. They edged Hilbert 18-13. That puts them 3-0, Doug. For the first time, it's the first time they've had more than 3 wins in a whole season since back in 2009. So big things happening for Mishicot.
Yeah, obviously Mishicot just has been struggling on the field, but it's good. These are fun stories because this is a program that nobody's thinking about before the season starts. Now they're 3-0. They're smelling the playoffs already. And this is just really cool to see that the Indians from Mishicot are making some waves.
Yeah, they haven't made the playoffs since that year back in 2009. So good chance this year to put an end to that streak. Well, we have a streak. Every week we have a game of the week, and it's time, Doug, to once again reveal our week 4 game of the week.
Well, we just talked about 2 OP small teams. Now we're going to talk about 2 OP large teams. Our game of the week, Kewanee hosting Wrightstown in a very big OP large game. Obviously, game previews 5 p.m. on Friday. Extended highlights and reaction at 10 o'clock on CW14. It's going to be a lot of fun to go back out to Kewanee. It's been a while since we've been there.
Yeah, 3-0 Storm looking good. Made a pretty deep run last year in the playoffs before getting bounced by Roncalli. And of course, our coverage of high school sports doesn't end here, does it?
No, we have more coverage of high school sports on fox11online.com, including highlights, player interviews, and